Krishna, 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 hey.
Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Krishna, 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 Rakshamam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rama, Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Krishna, Keshava, Pahimam. Jai, good job. Thank you. So, prayers by Indra, the king of heaven. So this pastime takes place after Krishna and all the Brajbasis perform the Govardhan Puja. And of course, in performing the Govardhan Puja, they do not perform the Indra Puja. So then what happens is that Lord Indra gets very upset, and he sends devastating rain on Vrindavan, thunder and lightning and cold winds. And so there's a lot of distress there for some time with this huge storm. And then what does Krishna do to save the day and give shelter to all the residents of Vrindavan, including all the cows? He lifts Govardhan Hill with the little finger of his left hand. And he holds it there for 7 days and 7 nights. Everyone's very safe, warm, dry, ecstatic underneath Govardhan Hill. And meantime, Indra is slamming down as much rain as he can, as much wind, hail, sleet, everything. He's pulling out all the stops and using all of his energy to try to, basically kill all the cows and the residents of Vrindavan. And he's not able to even shake a leaf on Govardhan Hill, what to speak of harm any of the people or the animals. So after a while, he just gets totally frustrated, and he realizes that he is nothing compared to Krishna. So then the clouds go away, the sun comes out, all the people go home, Krishna puts down Govardhan Hill, and after some days, Indra, he thinks, I did a very, very, very bad thing in trying to harm Vrindavan and trying to cause distress to Krishna and kill the cows. This was so evil. How could I have behaved so demoniacally? I'm a devotee. I'm a demigod. I'm supposed to be a good guy. Why was I being so bad? So sometimes that happens, right? When we're trying to be a good person, but somehow we just have some lapse of reason and we do something harmful, right? We end up hurting someone. So then what do we have to do afterwards? We have to go and apologize, right? I'm really sorry that I did that. So this is what Indra is doing now. He's going to Krishna and he's apologizing. So this is what this chapter is about. When Krishna saved the inhabitants of Vrindavan from the wrath of Indra by lifting Govardhan Hill, a Surabhi cow from Goloka Vrindavan, as well as King Indra from the heavenly planets, appeared before him. Indra, the king of heaven, was conscious of his offense before Krishna. Therefore he stealthily appeared before him in a secluded place. He immediately fell down at the lotus feet of Krishna, although his own crown was dazzling like the sunshine. So he went and he bowed his head. He put his golden dazzling cloud at the lotus feet of Krishna to offer his apologies. And he was very strategic about this. Actually, he got some good advice from Lord Brahma. He went to Lord Brahma. He said, please give me some instructions. How should I apologize to Krishna? I feel like he's never going to forgive me. I did such a bad thing. Brahma said, don't worry. This is what you do. Go to Surabhi. Surabhi is a cow, and Krishna loves cows. When Krishna sees cows, his heart just melts with affection for the cows. So he said, take this cow, one of Krishna's favorite cows in the universe, from Goloka, and you put her in the front. When he sees the cow, then his heart is going to soften, and then once his heart is all softened from seeing the cow, then you go and pay your obeisances quickly. And then Krishna will take advantage of his pre-softened heart, and hopefully Krishna will be compassionate towards you. So that's what Indra does. Indra knew about the exalted position of Krishna because Krishna is the master of Indra. But he could not believe that Krishna could come down and live in Vrindavan among the cowherd men. When Krishna defied the authority of Indra, Indra became angry because he thought that he was the all in all within the universe and that no one was as powerful as he. So this is going back and putting it in context. But after this incident, his false, puffed up prestige was destroyed. Being conscious of his subordinate position, he appeared before Krishna with folded hands and began to offer the following prayers. So this is, Indra is going to say a lot of nice prayers to try to please Krishna. My dear Lord, Indra said, being puffed up by my false prestige, I thought that you had offended me by not allowing the cowherd men to perform the Indra Yagya, and I thought that you wanted to enjoy the offerings that were arranged for the sacrifice. I thought that in the name of a Govardhan sacrifice, you were taking my share of profit, and therefore I mistook your position. Now, by your grace, I can understand that you are the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, and that you are transcendental to all material qualities. Your transcendental position is Vishuddha Sattva, which is above the platform of the material mode of goodness, and your transcendental abode is beyond the disturbance of the material qualities. Your name, fame, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes are all beyond this material nature, and they are never disturbed by the three material modes. Your abode is accessible only for one who undergoes severe austerities and penances and becomes completely freed from the onslaught of material qualities like passion and ignorance. If someone thinks that when you enter within this material world you accept the modes of material nature, he is mistaken. The waves of the material qualities are never able to touch you, and you certainly do not accept them when you are present within this world. Your lordship is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. So he's expressing his realizations and how his consciousness has been reformed, basically, because before he was thinking that he's the controller and that Krishna is just this ordinary boy who's very talkative and troublesome. It's causing trouble for him. And now he's realizing, actually, no, Krishna is a supreme Lord. He is God Almighty, the absolute truth. And before he was thinking that, oh, this Krishna, he's very puffed up, he's very proud, he thinks he can do whatever he wants. He's just influenced by the modes of passion and ignorance, and that's why he's acting in these wrong ways, so I need to teach him a lesson. So now he's saying that I had this misconception about you before, Krishna, this misunderstanding, but now I realize that you are totally transcendental to the modes of nature. You're never influenced by passion and ignorance. You're never illusioned. You never act out of false pride or greed or envy or anger or anything. Everything that you do is pure and good and absolute and wonderful. So He's expressing that I was the one who was wrong. I was the one who was proud. I was the one who was in illusion and making mistakes due to envy and anger and pride. My dear Lord, you are the original father of this cosmic manifestation. You are the supreme spiritual master of this cosmic world, and you are the original proprietor of everything. As eternal time, you are competent to chastise offenders. Within this material world, there are many fools like me who consider themselves to be the Supreme Lord, or the all-in-all within the universe. You are so merciful that without accepting their offenses, you devise means so that their false prestige is subdued, and they can know that you and no one else are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he's realizing that Krishna's lifting Govardhan Hill was actually Krishna's way of teaching him this valuable lesson. This was Krishna's mercy that he didn't take offense. He didn't take Indra's offense very seriously, but he just found a very constructive way to help him learn a lesson and be corrected. My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Father, the Supreme Spiritual Master, and the Supreme King. Therefore, you have the right to chastise all living entities whenever there is any discrepancy in their behavior. The Father, the Spiritual Master, and the Supreme Executive Officer of the state are always well-wishers of their sons, their students, and their citizens respectively. As such, the well-wishers have the right to chastise their dependents. By your own desire, you appear auspiciously on the earth in your eternal varieties of forms. You come to glorify the earthly planet and specifically to chastise persons who are falsely claiming to be God. So he's saying, Krishna, I made this mistake, and you are the Lord, I'm your dependent, and you have every right to punish me. You have every right to chastise me. Just like parents have the right to chastise their children when the children do something wrong. And like a spiritual master has the right to chastise the disciple when they do something wrong. Or, the CEO of the company has the right to chastise the employee when they do something wrong because they're dependents. So he's saying, I'm your dependent and I've made a mistake and you have every right to punish me right now. In the material world, there is regular competition between different types of living entities to become supreme leaders of society. And after being frustrated in achieving the supreme positions of leadership, foolish persons claim to be God, the Supreme Personality. There are many such foolish personalities in this world, like me. But in due course of time, when they come to their senses, they surrender unto you, and again engage themselves properly by rendering service unto you. And that is the purpose of your chastising persons envious of you. So he's expressing his gratitude. He's saying, I'm so glad that you've taught me this lesson because now I'm able to come to my senses, and now here I am surrendering to you and wanting to engage in your service. My dear Lord, I committed a great offense unto your lotus feet, being falsely proud of my material opulence, not knowing your unlimited power. Therefore, my Lord, kindly excuse me, because I am fool number one. Kindly give me your blessings, so that I may not act so foolishly again. If you think, my Lord, that the offense is very great and cannot be excused, then I appeal to you, that I am your eternal servant. You appear in this world to give protection to your eternal servants, and to destroy the demons who maintain great military strength, just to burden the very existence of the earth. As I am your eternal servant, kindly excuse me. So now he's asking Krishna to forgive him. I made this mistake. I realized I was proud. I was foolish. I'm fool number one. But I'm begging your forgiveness. Please be merciful to me. My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you because you are the Supreme Person and the Supreme Soul. You are the son of Vasudeva, and you are the Supreme Lord Krishna, the master of all pure devotees. Please accept my prostrated obeisances. You are the personification of supreme knowledge. You can appear anywhere according to your desire in any one of your eternal forms. You are the root of all creation and the supreme soul of all living entities. Due to my gross ignorance, I created a disturbance in Vrindavan by sending torrents of rain and a heavy hailstorm. I acted out of severe anger caused by your stopping the sacrifice which was to be held to satisfy me. But, my dear Lord, you are so kind to me that you have bestowed your mercy upon me by destroying all my false pride. I therefore take shelter of your lotus feet. My dear Lord, you are not only the supreme controller, but also the spiritual master of all living entities. Thus praised by Indra, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, smiled beautifully. So this must have been very pleasant. It must have been very delightful to Indra that after making his apology, and he's not sure whether Krishna's going to punish him, yell at him, give him a good slap. Certainly he deserved it after what he did, right? So he doesn't know how Krishna's going to respond to his entreaty. And when he stops saying his piece, then Krishna smiles beautifully. And he's probably just like, okay, so let's see what Krishna says. So he smiled beautifully and then replied in a grave voice resembling a rumbling cloud. Krishna's voice is very deep. My dear Indra, I stopped your sacrifice just to show you my causeless mercy and to remind you that I am your eternal master. I am the master not only of you, but of all the other demigods as well. You should also remember that all your material opulences are due to my mercy. No living entity can independently become opulent. One must be favored by my mercy. Everyone should always remember that I am the Supreme Lord. I can show anyone my favor, and I can chastise anyone, because no one is superior to me. If I find someone overpowered by false pride, in order to show him my causeless mercy, I withdraw all his opulences. So this is something that Krishna does. He doesn't like his devotees to be proud. So if we become proud for any reason, whether it's because we have a lot of wealth, or we're very beautiful, or we've done some very successful project, or we're highly educated, or for whatever reason, we may become proud. And especially if that pride becomes a kind of, arrogance, where we think we're better than others, and we think that we can treat others, as if they're in condescending ways, as if they're less than us, not as important as us. And especially if we treat devotees like that, then Krishna gets concerned about his devotees, because he knows that this is a recipe for disaster. Right? If we offend devotees, then that destroys our spiritual life, and that's the last thing that Krishna wants. He wants us to be successful. He doesn't want us to become proud and offend people and fall down from the spiritual path. So he makes arrangements like this, like the whole lifting of Govardhan Hill episode, just to mitigate Indra's pride. And he does things also in our own lives. He'll do the same thing. If we become proud, for whatever reason, then he'll make some arrangement to diminish our pride and make us humble again and realize our helplessness and complete dependence on him. So some of you may have experienced different ways that Krishna has done that, in small ways or in big ways. So Prabhupada writes, it is noteworthy that Krishna sometimes removes all of a rich man's opulences in order to facilitate his becoming a soul surrendered to him. This is a special favor of the Lord's. Sometimes it is seen that a person is very opulent materially, but due to his devotional service to the Lord, he may be reduced to poverty. Actually, Srila Prabhupada experienced that himself, because astrologically, an astrologer told him that he should be one of the richest men in India. And he had a pharmaceutical business in his Grihastha days when he was married. He had 5 children, and he had a business, and his business was booming. He was opening up branches here and there in different cities in India, and then everything was going well, and then all of a sudden, there was just one calamity after the other. There was a fire that burnt his warehouse and destroyed all of his inventory, and then one of his, trusted employees ended up not being so trustworthy and stole all of the money from the safe, and just different things kept going wrong until Srila Prabhupada basically kind of went bankrupt. He had to just close down the business. And he says that was the best thing that ever happened to him. Because after that, he just left everything. He took sannyas, and then he started planning to come to, he started focusing in a very determined way on fulfilling the order of his spiritual master that he had gotten decades before, to spread Krishna consciousness in the English-speaking countries. And thank God that Srila Prabhupada's business crashed, because otherwise we wouldn't be here. This temple wouldn't be here. We would not be sitting here right now hearing about Krishna. So Krishna's mercy on Prabhupada and Krishna's mercy on all of us. Although it didn't look like a good thing. It looked like a tragedy, but it ended up being a great blessing. So we have to be careful. Sometimes something happens in our lives that seems terrible, seems tragic, seems like a nightmare. But if we just trust Krishna, pray to Krishna, ask for his shelter and his wisdom, to give us some wisdom, some perspective on things, then in due course of time we'll see how that was actually a great boon. It was a great benediction, because Krishna knows what he's doing. Okay, let's see. One should not think, one may be reduced to poverty. One should not think, however, that because he worshipped the Supreme Lord, he became poverty-stricken. Right? So we can't blame it on Krishna. We shouldn't think, I'm not going to worship Krishna because I worshipped him and I lost everything. The real purport is that when a person is a pure devotee, but at the same time, by miscalculation, wants to lord it over material nature, the Lord shows him his special mercy by taking away all material opulences until at last he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord. After instructing Indra, Lord Krishna asked him to return to his kingdom in the heavenly planets and to remember always that he is never the supreme, but he is always subordinate to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He also advised him to remain as the king of heaven, but to be careful about false pride. After this, the transcendental Surabhi cow, who had come to Indra to see Krishna, offered her respectful obeisances unto him and worshipped him. So you see, Indra didn't punish him at all. He just smiled. He says, now you go back to your heavenly planets and go back to your service and don't become proud. Be careful of false pride. He was very kind to Indra. So now the Surabhi cow there is alone with Krishna, and she's offering her prayers. My dear Lord Krishna, you are the most powerful of all mystic yogis, because you are the soul of the complete universe, and only from you has all this cosmic manifestation taken place. Therefore, although Indra tried his best to kill my descendant cows in Vrindavan, they remained under your shelter, and you have protected them all so well. Krishna's Gopal, the protector of the cows. He protected all the cows. See, these cows from the spiritual world, they can speak. So she's speaking. We do not know anyone else as the supreme, nor do we go to any other god or demigods for protection. Therefore, you are our Indra. You are the supreme father of the whole cosmic manifestation, and you are the protector and elevator of all the cows, Brahmins, demigods, and others who are pure devotees of your lordship. O super soul of the universe, let us bathe you with our milk, for you are our Indra. O Lord, you appear just to diminish the burden of impure activities on the earth. So Indra also means just a king or a leader. So she's saying that you are our king. We don't accept anyone less than you as our Lord and Master. And you know how we do Abhishek on the deities with milk in the conch shell and poured. So a Surabhi cow, she went and sprayed Krishna with milk right straight from her own body. And she did Abhishek on Krishna. Then the Surabhi cow bathed Krishna with her milk, and Indra bathed, Indra was still there this time. Indra bathed him with the water of the celestial Ganges through the trunk of his carrier elephant. So Indra rides on the back of a great white elephant called Airavata. And so he had some Ganges water, and the elephant sucked it up in his trunk and showered it on Krishna, doing Abhishek. After this, the Surabhi cows and all the demigods and their mothers joined the heavenly king Indra in worshipping Lord Krishna by bathing him with Ganges water and the milk of the Surabhis. Thus Govinda, Lord Krishna, was pleased with all of them. This is when Krishna got the name Govinda. Govinda means the king of the cows. The residents of all the higher planetary systems, such as Gandharva Loka, Vidyadhara Loka, Siddha Loka, and Charana Loka, all combined and glorified the Lord by chanting his holy name as their wives and damsels danced with great joy. They very much satisfied the Lord by incessantly pouring flowers from the sky. When everything was very nicely and joyfully settled, the cows overflooded the surface of the earth with their milk. The water of the rivers began to flow with various tasty liquids and give nourishment to the trees, producing fruits and flowers of different colors and tastes. The trees began to pour drops of honey. The hills and mountains began to produce potent medicinal plants and valuable stones. Because of Krishna's presence, all these things happened very nicely, and the lower animals, who are generally envious of one another, were no longer envious. So all that Abhishek water and milk that was bathing Krishna, it was just going onto the ground, and it was making a river, and it was flooding all over the place, and everything that it touched was becoming purified and wonderful. And when it touched the mountains were producing all kinds of gems and jewels. When it touched the plants, they were producing medicines. When it touched the trees were bursting into flowers, and the honey, nectar was dripping from the flowers, like that. After satisfying Krishna, who is the Lord of all the cows in Vrindavan and who is known as Govinda, King Indra took his permission to return to his heavenly kingdom. As he passed through cosmic space, he was surrounded by all kinds of demigods. This great incident is a powerful example of how Krishna consciousness can benefit the world. Even the lower animals forget their envious nature and become elevated to the qualities of the demigods. So, yeah, even animals like snakes and scorpions that are usually envious and will just bite you for no reason, when they were touched by the Charnamrita from the Abhishek of Krishna that happened, then they became very sweet and nice and friendly and kind to other animals. They took on the qualities of demigods. So like that, also as devotees, the more we come in contact with Krishna, and not just the Charna. Of course, we can take Charnamrita every day. Every day, Krishna's getting an abhishek here on the altar, and we're getting Charnamrita. We can take that. But in any way we come in contact with Krishna, whether we're hearing about Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, reading Krishna book, Srimad Bhagavatam, or chanting his holy names, chanting japa, singing in kirtan, or just listening to it, or coming to the temple doing some service, associating with devotees, taking prasadam, seeing the deity. All these ways, these are all different varieties of devotional service. And there's a verse that says that one who performs devotional service gradually acquires all of the good qualities of the demigods. That's from Srimad Bhagavatam. So the same way that these, even snakes and scorpions are getting the qualities of demigods, then what to speak of us human beings who are sincerely approaching the Lord and trying to make our consciousness fit to serve Him and to please Him, then we are naturally going to get free from all of our bad qualities and also develop these good qualities of the demigods. So we're seeing a lot of valuable things here in this pastime, how Krishna loves the cows. Today is Gopastami, so it's the day that Krishna goes out herding the cows in the forest, and he really steps into his own as Gopal, the protector of the cows. We're seeing here that it was thanks to the cow Surabhi that Indra was easily forgiven. And so if we serve the cows, we should try to please the cows by giving them a good scratch, feeding them, touching their hooves, and taking the dust of their lotus feet, right? Considering ourselves the servants of the cows, and then Krishna will, his heart will melt, right? This morning a few of us went over to the Goshala and we were scratching and massaging the small cows, the little zebu cows. So we can go and pet the cows and try to make a cow